He's Jay Moore. He does everything. Fox Sports Radio, hosts The View, comedy acts, stand-up. And what we found out, we just had Cole Hauser on, who was in Dazed and Confused and Good Will Hunting. He's also in Rogue on DirecTV. And Jay goes, I lost 3 roles to that guy.
Yeah.
You know which ones they were?
Little Women. Little Women, that was tough. No, I don't really remember all of them.
But do you dislike that person because?
Oh no, he's a good actor. So when you lose it to like a good actor, or if you lose it to like Giovanni Ribisi, you're like, oh okay. Or like Anchorman, I auditioned for Champ, and Dave Koechner got it. And then you watch Anchorman, you go, there's nothing I could have done that would have approached the greatness that Dave Koechner brought. So you were happy about it. And then sometimes they're like, hey, we gave it to, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm Johnny Corporate now. I'm not going to say Skeet Ulrich, Hey, man!
I would be bothered because it's like when you have a girlfriend break up with you, then you want to see who she went out with after you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you go, are you kidding me?
Yeah. You don't, yeah, that's the fall. That's the thing. If you get broken up with, you definitely want them to go up. You know?
Yeah, I'm okay if they graduate to Clooney.
Yeah.
It's,
because
when they do.
If she's with Clooney, she'll be back in about 6 months. He doesn't attach.
Yeah, he kicks him at the curb.
You should has he ever been on the show or
yeah.
called? He's like the nicest, coolest, funniest guy in the world. It's amazing he's that big a star, and like he's just like a guy from the neighborhood. He's incredible.
Is there a guy who bothers you in Hollywood?
Nothing bothers me. You couldn't name something that bothers me. Like I don't.
Like 10 years ago?
I was an animal. I was a crazy person. Everything bothered me. I was an alcoholic. I was a drunk. But now it's just like who cares?
Is your comedy better?
Way better.
When you're drunk?
Oh no. So no. You think it is. That's the problem. You're like, this is great.
I'm killing.
But then you realize you're not saying photosynthesis correctly. You're saying made me feel great. You're just saying like crazy things. No, I wouldn't say comedy makes you nothing. You have to be present, not to get like technical, but you have to be so. It's like playing jazz. You have to be completely right there and just completely there. And when you're drunk, you're just the drunk slob. You're just hammered, and really all you're trying to do really is get chicks. So like the whole show is like you give out like your hotel on stage, like, so I'm staying at the DoubleTree over on 4th Street. You know where I am, right by the Houston Park. Everything's.
Did you pick up women when you were on?
No, it's impossible. You try though. You give it a good effort. But when you say goodnight doing comedy, you leave back this way, and then everybody with their dates goes that way. So if you really want a date bad, you have to circle around, and then you have to go in the lobby where everyone's with their dates, and then in front of 1,000 people that just watched a theater show. There's like 999 witnesses of you going like, hey, what are you doing later? Do you want to hang out? So like you talk about the pressure being on. It's way like just hitting on a girl like in gym class. That's nothing compared to like try a theater where you just did a show and they're like, hey! They think it's a meet and greet.
It is for one.
Yeah, hopefully, but it never is. You're just home watching Dan and Keith on SportsCenter. This is back in the day, of course, in the
when you were drunk
1860s when I watched SportsCenter via remote.
Ever date a comedian?
No, I never have.
Because that's disaster.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. My reputation was one that wasn't true of just being I don't know what the proper words are, of getting after it all the time, the ladies. But honestly, I always wanted to get 8 hours of sleep much more than I ever wanted female company.
So you weren't a swordsman?
Very low libido, Dan.
Really?
Little insight right here.
Thank you.
My poor wife.
I had heard somebody said something little, and then we came up with a couple of different words, and I said libido. Yeah.
Libido, yeah, you won. It's like match game. You had a little blank. Blank.
Fritzy said something else, and I said libido.
Yeah, Fritzy said dinghy. I have a small dinghy. It's parked behind Pier 44, wherever we are. I think this is where Jimmy Hoffa is, underneath the.
Well, he's all over this place. Yeah, I got
at this point, yeah.
Lady Liberty right over your shoulder.
Oh, she's in New Jersey also, by the way.
Freedom Towers.
I don't know if you know that.
Is she officially in Jersey?
She's a Jersey girl. She's right there. That's New Jersey waters, my man.
But what part of the Hudson becomes Jersey?
Hudson River's New Jersey. It's all no, I don't know.
No, that's not true.
No, but I believe she's if you go by the this is the boringest conversation I've ever led anyone into. Your own guys are tapping out. They're tweeting. They're tweeting. Chrissy Teigen's coming.
Yeah, she is. And Brooklyn Decker.
Sorry, I don't have boobs. You want me to make out with John Legend? Would that make it happen, Paulie?
He's
very low libido, my poor wife, because she's has the libido of like a 15-year-old boy, and I need to be like warmed up. I'm like, come on, kiss my neck. Tell me you love me. And my wife's like, the room service guy's going to be here any minute. Let's go. I'm like, now you're making it worse.
He's Jay Moore, weekdays noon to 3 Eastern on Fox Sports Radio or iHeartRadio. You can also see him live, Gotham Comedy Club in New York City tonight and tomorrow.
I asked McLovin if he wanted to come to, I asked him if he wanted to come to the show, and he goes, I'm going to Howard Stern's party, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be out of there by 10. I said, yeah, that's what they're known for, big star parties, wrapping up quickly.
You talked about doing sports radio after, acting, comedy, but what is it about sports radio that you get that is so different? The high that you get for sports radio is different than acting and comedy.
Because it's right now. It's a lot like stand-up, Dan, because everything's happening right at the moment. If Ray Lewis announces his retirement, or if there's deer antler spray and, something goofy happens, it happens right there, and everything's in real time. Whereas when you do a movie, you're sitting in like a Star Wagon with like a framed photo of a guy washing a squaw next to a teepee. Oh, I don't know if you guys know this. Dan knows because he's done multiple movies. I don't know where your Walk of Fame is. I'm just saying, I'll put it out there. But when you're in like one of those Star Wagons, they all have like Native American art, all of them. There's no those Lyle Wagner Star Wagons. And for the people at home, next time you drive past, that's who owns them all. Next time you drive past a movie set, just walk into one of the trailers. They don't mind. But you're waiting all the time. Always. And on a sitcom or a TV show, you're always waiting. But when you're doing radio, it's live. It's just like stand-up, and it's great.
I had Sandler posters inside my double banger. Have you ever done this? Who do you do the impersonations in front of?
Colin Quinn just did my podcast. It'll be up in 2 weeks, more stories. And I always do Colin right to Colin. We were doing, not family-friendly here, but Colin and I were doing dueling Collins, but we were doing the crucifixion of Christ if it happened on on Goodfellas. They whacked him. And that's that. Hey, how long's it been since you were a made man, Christ? A long time. Pikes Peak was a pimple. And how? Oh, no, they whacked him. So we did that, and then we did the crucifixion during Casino. Like, you went to Herod behind my back? You told me I could come to the desert, Christ? So that's the clean version of that. But Colin, I'll do in front of Colin.
I don't do a lot of crucifixion humor, just so you know.
I do. Well, I'm a devout Catholic. I love my church. St. Monica's, big shout out. So I got the line to the big man up top. I'll call Monsignor Lloyd Torgerson if everything, and if I get any flack.
Having opinions, though, in sports.
Yes, sir.
Because in comedy, you can have an opinion, and they don't necessarily get back at you right away. In sports radio, they can call you, they can, and you hear from them.
Yeah.
Topic that you touched on where you went, whoa, the feedback was different than I had ever thought.
Oddly, it's something that I think is benign. Like, I don't think Ohio State should be ranked number 2, and I don't think and I think I don't think their strength of schedule, and then just Columbus just piles in. And then they go, look at Florida State's strength of schedule, look at Ohio State's strength of schedule, and then I look it up during one of the breaks, and they're right. And then I come back. That's what I love about it is I don't think you'll do it a lot. I think it's just you and I, really. Like, that'll actually just say, like, you know what? I'm wrong. I've heard you say it. It's like the most liberating words in sports talk radio because so many guys are just like, me. And that is fresh. But that's the thing. Like, guys they won't just say, like, you know what, you guys have called, and apparently I was wrong. But there was something benign. I remember specifically Ohio State was ranked number 2, and I thought that was a bad ranking.
I said the same thing. They crushed me. I said they're going to lose to Michigan State. And then once that happened,
I called that too.
And then they back away.
Well, at the time, they should have been ranked number 2. But Michigan State, you wonder if they didn't lose to Notre Dame, they could have been playing for a national title.
Yeah, they got.
I'll take your thoughts off the air.
All right, don't make a big deal out of it, Dan. Colin Quinn.
I'll hang up and listen.
He's in a lot of Adam Sandler movies as well.
Do you think you could take Rome if you had to, Jim Rome?
In a
wrestling match.
I'll go up against anybody in a wrestling match.
Paulie?
Yeah, sure.
During the break, you got a suit on because you host in The View.
So?
Would you get down on all fours and assume the position.
You want to start on the top or the bottom? You want to start standing up?
You're the guest. You pick.
But
How
I'm a
many
striker.
times have we heard that comment this week?
Oh, Dan, believe
Top or
me,
bottom?
I'm at Gotham in Chelsea. I hear it all afternoon on my walk to the club. Top or bottom? And you know what I say? You know what I say to those young men? I defer. I defer. It's your neighborhood. You tell me top or bottom.
Hey, it's great to see you.
Great to see you.
Congrats with everything.
Love the show every damn day. I listen to Dan Patrick.
Thank you,
and,
Jay.
obviously, these people do too. That's why we're on television right now.
Jay Moore, sports weekdays noon to 3 Eastern on Fox Sports Radio or iHeartRadio. You can see him at the Gotham Comedy Club in New York City tonight. Unless you're like us, you're going to the Howard Stern birthday party. But if I wasn't,
You'd go to Gotham Comedy Club.
no, I wouldn't.
Oh, Dan, can I just point something out?
Yes.
Never looked up.
McLovin?
Not one moment of this entire time did he look up.
Are you kidding me,
What is-
McLovin?
Are you doing fantasy hockey draft? What's happening? Are you on farmersdaughter.com? Is that Mr. Hands?
That is so not true. Just every time you looked over, I was staring at you, then you'd look over and I'd awkwardly look away.
Why look away? Let's make eye contact like
I was
men.
actually going to ask,
You never been to the steam room?
would you feel awkward if I bought that same shirt you're wearing at an extra large and wore it on Monday?
Why
I
would
do that to Dan all the time.
Oh no, I don't care. Flattery, you know, that's nice. What is on your computer screen right now? Take
You
your
don't wanna
time.
know.
No, you're okay. You're
So
okay
wait-
with that one, not with Fritzy's. Fritzy gets blue screen occasionally.
Fritzy and I actually talk. We're McLovin. I've never met before. I'm not waiting for the red carpet and trumpets and like the town.
Ivy League guy. McLovin. He doesn't
where-
have time
where in
for
the Ivy
you,
League?
Jay.
Dartmouth, ever heard of it? New Hampshire?
Yeah, that's like the IDCD of
I'll let you guys pick
ICDC
up
College of the Ivy League. It's
this-
no Brown. Let's
You
just say
pick up
that.
this conversation off the air. And if you want to wrestle Paulie as well, I got a job to do here, Jay.
I apologize, sir.
All right, stop goofing around here. Take this serious for a change, will you?
You go to Herod behind my back?